In the beginning, we wanted to tell the story in a relatively simple way, partially just because we have to. So we believe in obeying the logic of the story, the inherent logic, and in this case, that just means that certain tools that would be available to us in making the original Talos Principle or in Gehenna would simply not be available to us here. Certain storytelling tools, such as terminals, for example, or Milton, that those things simply cannot exist at this point in the timeline, so we haven't forced them into the game. We've just told the story in a way that would be consistent with what has been established previously about how the simulation came to be. Instead, we've used a lot of voiceover, mainly from the perspective of Alexandra Drennan, giving you a kind of more intimate look at her life. And we've also used these developer pins. Now, these developer pins are directly based on what we actually use when making the game. And this has given us a way of using something like the QR codes from the original game, but with a very different perspective and with a very different flavor. Overall, these choices create a game that has a different kind of flavor than the other Talos games. And I think if we make 2 Talos games in a row that are exactly the same, then I think we failed. We always want to change up your perspective. We always want to have you thinking about the world of Talos and the characters in a different way, giving you a different approach to the same subject matter. Everything that you find out here is something you could already technically find out in the main game in terms of simply facts, unless you're counting some trivia. But I mean, in terms of great events, this is the same event, but it gives you a different, more human, more grounded perspective on these events. There's always a different character, there's always a different perspective, and there's always a different way of thinking about things. And I think having all these different perspectives in our mind allows them to interact with each other, and that provokes thought, which of course is our goal.